What's going on, guys? This is actually the first episode of the Passion Pit live at Major One in Boston. And we are very excited. We are here with SZND over here, and he gave us a great opportunity of using his HQ. And I'm excited to get this going. I have my co-host Matt over on the way right. I guess you're way left, but he's over there. Matt, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. First event here out in Boston. Just flew in today. First plane ride by myself. It was a lot of firsts today. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Also, first Uber, which people did not believe me.
Yeah, this motherfucker. He didn't even have the app.
Brother, there's no reason for an Uber in Alabama. Like
That's fair.
Like everyth's so close.
Yeah, how was the flight?
It was good. The landing was crazy. I got recognized at the airport. That was weird, but it's been a great day.
He's on the come up,
man.
I would consider like F class celebrity. F
class.
tier. Yeah.
All right, so we got Matt obviously, and then in the middle on the left side of your screen is Jay. He is the brains behind the Passion Pit that gets sent on YouTube. Like, he does the editing, he makes sure all the audio's set. So what are you classified for that?
I would classify myself as a producer and a video editor.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because I do a lot of stuff for Team War outside of the Passion Pit too, for some of our other pieces of content, our TikToks, and some of the stuff that goes on our socials. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. All right, and Matt, do you want to introduce our final guest?
I mean, I just met all of you today. So you're really putting me on the spot here with names. The
Come
only reason
on,
I know
you
Jay-
got this.
He's a very important part of this team.
I mean, yeah, for sure. No
wanna
one told me
introduce
his
yourself?
name.
You don't even-
No one told me his name when we got here. He didn't even tell me his name.
Okay,
He just
not
said,
gonna lie, I threw that to Matt
just
because
dapped me.
I don't remember your
What?
name either.
This is crazy. Oh no, I knew it. This is insane. No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hold up, we got a guest now.
ladies and gentlemen, this is Caleb.
I said
That's
Caleb
what it
before he
was.
said it.
That's
I
what
said
it was.
Caleb before he said it.
Would you like to introduce what you do for this team?
Yes, I am a graphic designer for Team War and help Kev with any other little task he has for me.
All right, speaking of which, we're going straight into blast.
Straight.
Yeah.
Kev is not with us today.
Where
supposed to be.
where is
This
he?
episode was supposed to be based around the fact that Team War has just re-entered challengers, and we wanted to get Kev on again. We already had him on before, and we wanted to get him on. Kind of ditched us, and we're a little salty about that. But
Can we break down exactly how he ditched us? He went to dinner. He went to dinner.
Because he ditched.
Told us to go work at 7. It was like 7 p.m. Told us to go work. He went to dinner. Told us to go work. We get to the studio. Wait here about what? An hour. And a half?
Good
About an
hour.
hour.
Yeah. And then he says, "Hey, can you guys do without me?" And his reasoning was he wants to network.
And then
was
we
going
have
to drink.
We have the insider information that through the phone call we heard. You guys want to go get drinks? Which I mean, he's the owner of Team War. I'm sure he's doing very important stuff
He is,
while
he is.
drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Multitasking as he does. But
no, I think that is very funny, and we just had to put him on blast there. Kevin, we love you. Hopefully you can join us on the next episode of the Passion Pit, and we can get that done. But we're just gonna get right into it. I do want to shout out Team War and Testy. We are two of us are currently wearing the Swole Patrol armor drop. Has that dropped yet?
No, not yet.
All right, so will it drop by tomorrow?
That is a question for Kev.
Okay.
I'm not sure. What
Kev's not here right now, so
all the questions we had.
It's dropping soon. If I just leaked it, I'm sorry, but Kev's not here. So
they're sick hoodies.
Make sure you go check it out. It's the Soul Patrol armor. It's Testy X Team War. But go check it out. Go get some new merch. We appreciate it. And another thing too, make sure if you are looking for a new controller, you go to Scuf and use code WAR. It gives you a nice little percentage off. I think it's 10%, correct?
Yep,
I got that
10%,
wrong on my my video that I dropped my controller on, but that's besides the point. And one more thing besides that, before we get into the main podcast, these guys can just fuck off over there. We are doing a challenge. It is the hashtag Scuf challenge, where anyone in the Call of Duty community can participate. And that challenge is in the next few months until Call of Duty Champs, after the CDL season, you have to get all 48 player signatures that are currently active in the Call of Duty League, as well as Scump, on one controller. And if you can do that and beat me to doing that, you get a custom controller of your choice. But I'm the final boss, so make sure you beat me to it, but it's going to be hard, so we're just going to get right into the podcast now. I think I did that fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you did a great job. Yeah, you did a great job. Yeah.
I couldn't do that in the street because I was going to get ran over.
Yeah, in comparison to we almost got hit by a car.
Well, I mean, you said it. You're just a Lanimal.
I'm a Lanimal.
You can't do it when we're online.
No,
but we're here on land. It's a different story.
Well, yeah, when you're allowed to free ball, it's so much easier.
Oh, so much easier.
It's so much
I don't
easier.
have Kevin in my ear.
You're the optic of podcast hosters.
Literally and metaphorically.
3-0.
3-0'd right
3-0
there.
when it mattered.
But like speaking of that, so we were talking about it right before we get into the big challengers action, because I think we're all in pretty much agreement who's winning challengers this weekend.
Yeah.
I think we're all in pretty much agreement.
Got a hunch.
I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
are kind of a jinx. Maybe
I'm
you
a
should root for
jinx.
Notorious. You should
No,
root for
I'm not
Notorious.
rooting for I'm not rooting for anyone. I'm just, in my mind, I have who I want to win. But
you just can't say
I'm
it
not
out
saying it out loud
That's
because I'm
fair.
a jinx.
You know
I
what?
absolutely am.
I'm not gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with him too, because every single team that I've wanted to win an event that I've gone to over the last like 5 years has gotten second place. I've
my
gone to 4
goodness.
events. That's 4 second places. So
We're shocked. I mean, I have the first event luck, right? Like that's
Yeah.
how it's supposed to work. Me and Caleb,
Yeah,
right?
first major.
First major. So you went to the pro-am.
I was at the pro-am, but super different vibe from the major.
I bet it's just a lot
No
quieter.
fans.
Yeah,
Everyone's focused on their matches. Very different.
it's kind of like the pit though. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit.
which is I'm excited to check that out tomorrow as well, though.
The pit, so got a little sneak preview of it, and it looks amazing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. I'll be walking around it, as well as everyone else here, I'm sure. We'll be watching Team War play, hopefully all the way through Sunday, and we'll have a great time. And speaking of which, Team War, make sure you go support them. The team is Hixie, Bance, Beans, and
Nasty.
as well as Coach
Marky B.
Marky B.
Marky B.
Mark. Come on.
Yeah, so make sure you go support them on Twitter. Same with Team War on Twitter. But it's gonna be a great weekend. I'm gonna be excited to watch them play on LAN. It's a great team.
You know what? Too, Marky B called me mate earlier, and that warmed my heart. He's a really nice guy.
Marky B is such a great.
He's such a nice guy.
He's got a great accent.
I
I
was about to
love his
say,
accent.
Such a nice guy, and it keeps everything on the down low so much that he did a podcast with us, the Team War podcast.
That's true.
Did not mention that he would himself be joining Team War 3 days later.
We literally did that. Yeah.
We couldn't believe. I was like, "Wow, we got to reshoot that entire podcast." But I mean, it's fine. It's still
Hopefully-
a great pod. And
honestly-
then come back on again as the head coach.
Honestly,
of Team
hopefully
War.
we can get all of them. I would definitely love to get all the team as well as
100%.
Marky B back on. Hopefully we can get them. And if you are a challenger player, coach, organization, and you want to join the podcast, we're doing these weekly. We're trying to push them out weekly. We're trying to get as much content out of them. We want you to come on and just say whatever you want to say. Just shoot the shit. Talk about challengers. We know there's issues with challenges right now, but we're all trying to grow the scene. So just come on, just vibe with us, and we'll have a good time there. But tomorrow is the big day. We got the first day of challengers, and do we know who we play?
I don't
think brackets are out yet.
I don't think brackets are out
Brackets
yet.
aren't made yet.
Yeah,
So
some
we'll-
teams are still signing.
We'll
up, if
see
I'm not
that,
mistaken.
which should be good.
What do you think about them playing on the new patch?
They're playing on the. Oh no, they are playing on the
They're
new
playing
patch.
on the new
Playing on the new patch.
No, only the pros are playing on the old
Yes.
patch.
Yes, challengers
So
kind of got.
That means they're gonna have
screwed.
those really bad spawns.
They're gonna have. Yeah, it's gonna be a little wonky, but if you've been around COD, competitive COD,
It's
COD
how it
long
happens
enough,
for
it's
them.
nothing new. We
Yeah.
used to have this all the time before the CDL, and I know we do have a lot of classified. We have a couple of veterans on our team that have been around, so hopefully they can get it going pretty quickly, and we can just come out with a bang. But yeah, this new patch is interesting. I'm not sure.
Interesting to say the least. I mean, we changed basically for like all the hard points essentially.
all the
like
rotations are completely
they're
different
completely different. So I mean, you're playing a complete new game with basically a week's preparation of playing it. So I mean, it's everybody's coming in on the same playing field, though, which is the good point for at least Team War and Essential, where we're all playing on the new patch. It's only been out for now, 1 or 2 weeks?
2 weeks tops.
Yeah, and so everybody's got to play it, but at the same time, should they? Probably not. But that's how Challengers goes. Like you said, if you've been around, you've seen what Challengers kind of gets the short end of the stick a lot of the times. I mean, that's why part of this podcast is just to talk about that, because it's been happening a lot in the Challenger scene recently. We just keep seeing it, but I'm really hoping, at least on this new patch. I mean, I know Control, we looked really dominant, especially Invasion Control. I think one of the team's better maps. I think it's still straightforward. Nothing changed about it. And it's probably the most straightforward Control map in the 3. So I think it plays to their style a little bit. But for Hardpoint, man, I mean, every team's in the same boat right now. I mean, you talked about it earlier, the spawns. I mean, the amount of times where just because the hill is white, you're going to spawn directly beside an enemy player is ridiculous, bro. Like, I don't know how many times just in ranked play, I'm coming off spawn back Palace of Invasion and seeing 3 running up B Street and wondering how they got there. And I'm just like, well, bing, 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 bing.
And that's the crazy part.
Misses every shot.
Not me.
And that's the crazy part to me. This update was supposed to be fixing the issues with spawns, with rotations, but all I'm seeing is CDL Pro tweeting, this is the worst patch we've probably had in some years.
Yeah.
Well, and not only to mention that, like, the update broke the game when it came out.
Yeah.
Like, the game shut down. They broke Warzone, Zombies, no ranked play, and the only thing you could play, I think, was the superhero mode for the boys. So it's like, well, thanks, Call of Duty. We appreciate that.
To give them credit where credit is due, they stayed up till like 4 a.m.
They did,
true.
and they fixed everything very quickly. But
When
it's
was the last time you saw a tweet go out at 4 a.m. from Treyarch and Activision and all them over there and saying like they fixed all this stuff at 4 a.m.
Well,
I don't remember a time.
Well, there's a very selective studio whose name I won't mention that definitely wouldn't tweet that. I'm not going to say their name, but we all know who I'm talking about.
For this, man, I mean, I saw somebody tweet out though that it's almost like if a fireman set a wildfire and then went and put it all out and then got the praise for it. It's kind of like, well, you broke the game. That's why everyone had to jump in to fix it and work till 4 a.m. is because the update shattered the game for almost every player.
Yeah, it was interesting. I know I actually got into zombies because of that update because ranked play wasn't happening. Like
it was not.
Ranked play was supposed to drop on Thursday. I had Thursday off. I'm like, cool. I had Friday off. Ranked play didn't drop till Friday afternoon. And at Friday morning, I'm like, there's no ranked play. I don't know what to do. I jumped into zombies. I haven't touched ranked play. I'm silver 1. I've played maybe 5 matches.
So you're a zombies pro.
Like, I just play zombies, which I need to get back into ranked play. But yeah, so
it's gonna become a zombies YouTuber.
The lateness of ranked play actually got me into the zombies. It was the first time I dropped into that zombies map, but yeah, it's
zombies is all right.
It's all right. But we're not here.
We're not here to talk about zombies. We're here to
the
talk about
game as much, but we're here to talk about Major 1. We talked a little bit about challengers, but again, this is 2 of y'all's first event.
Yeah,
Those 2.
It's my first ever event.
You already went to the venue.
Yes, the venue is
You
sick.
haven't been to the venue yet.
No, I just flew in today.
Boston's venue is
Killed
great.
it. Yeah.
They do a really good job. Unfortunately, there was some issues with the PCs. There was a lot of delays today, and I'm hoping that doesn't transfer over the challengers, but we don't know. It's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna see tomorrow. There was a lot of delays in the Call of Duty League. So
I think
we'll go from
disconnects.
Did every single game have a disconnect?
Every match
today?
had a disconnect.
Yeah, I think it was and then also every match ended in a 3-0.
That's also
Which
true.
was very strange to see that where some teams kind of thrived with it being checked. Because I mean, you saw where like FaZe was playing, where they're just kind of laughing it off. They're like, I mean, this is just we've been here before. This is COD, and you can kind of see the veteran presence. And then across the stage, I mean, you can see LAG just getting visibly frustrated, and it was kind of interesting to see how teams handled that. Some being the more kind of pro season teams handling it better. But, I mean, it still just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've got Assault on that roster, and I'm pretty certain he's the real only veteran player on the LAG roster, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure it's probably frustrating trying to keep the rest of the team under control, saying, like, this is going to happen. This is stupid.
This is PC COD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you know, there's also going to be this weird narrative kind of derived from this now, like where these matches actually like, you know, legit in a way.
Is there going to be an asterisk?
Yeah. Is there going to be an asterisk next to some of these matches? I don't think there should be, but you know how people can be.
You know, there's a couple instances I think specifically where we talked about it before, kind of with the NYSL, where they were up 2-1 in control in a map, in a need win map. If they don't, a do or die map, if they don't win that, it's a 3-0. They're supposed to get defense, and then they load back in, getting offensive side, the complete opposite side. And it's like we can't fix that somehow.
Yep.
And it's just, you know, I could see, I mean, if I'm playing that, like, I'm checked immediately, especially, and you're already down 2-0 at that point, like.
And I'm pretty certain, didn't Simp at some point crash?
It was this morning, and he was just laughing
and
about it.
He didn't even get his cruise missile
Sim
back.
crashed, didn't get his cruise missile back. So there was, in total, I think there was more than 5 crashes.
There were 7.
There were 7 crashes.
7 crashes in total.
And every match had a crash. It was very unfortunate. Hopefully that doesn't transfer over the challengers. But again, it's PC COD. It could be just the new or the old patch. Hopefully the new patch is different, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. I want to go back to you though. This is your first event. You've seen the venue. Matt has not seen the venue yet. So what did you think about it going in? Something fresh, like just automatically. What would you? How would you describe that feeling?
I think that Boston killed the venue design. The venue looks amazing. I think they did a great job of really making it sort of their own, sort of as the host city, and really bringing the fans something that they can be excited to sort of see as they enter the venue for the first time. And I'm excited for Matt to see it at the first time
So
too.
I will say to Caleb's point there, like driving by it on the way to Verb with you guys, just driving by it and seeing all the guys posted out on like kind of banner, like having to have Boston and then in giant things. And it was really cool to see because like, you know, being from Alabama, I mean, esports is non-existent there. So it's like coming to a city and like seeing that up on a giant banner and up in like bright lights.
On
it's like
Fenway Park.
On
like
Fenway
literally
Park.
Fenway Park's right there.
And it was insane to me just to see that. So seeing the venue tomorrow, I'm going to be in shock. I'm so excited.
I must say, went to the venue at 6 a.m. this morning, and thankfully, it was not -30 like it was last year. It was
actually- it hasn't been
rainy.
too
It
bad.
wasn't warm, but it wasn't cold, so it was definitely better. The venue looks amazing. It's just as good as it was last year. There's a little tidbit. So if you are in the front row, if you manage to get in the front row, if you get there early enough, the stage is very high. And if you're in the front row, you're sitting up, just looking up.
Got your neck cranked all the way back.
Your neck's
the front row of the movie theater.
And even if you're just like looking at the stage, you can barely see the setups on the stage, and they actually lowered it from last year. So it was worse last year, and I do appreciate Boston Breach for doing that. They took that into account. One thing I would suggest, I know it's the Call of Duty League put on champs in LA, so that was a little different. There's a whole bunch of room right down low. If you get some TVs, if you have whatever, if you have the opportunity or you have the ability to, stack some TVs there if they're able to be like plugged in and just have the screens so you don't have to just look up the whole time.
Yeah, give you some different viewing options.
Yeah, give you some different viewing options.
Yeah.
Screen's a little small, but again, they're working with what they got, and the venue's just beautiful. Like it's one of those types of venues that the acoustics does really good. You can hear everything when there's a gunshot happens. It's just the reverb. It's just you feel it.
I'm so ready to like feel that.
Oh, bro, the cruise missiles are so loud.
The cruise missiles are so loud. You're gonna enjoy it. Again, I've been to quite a few events these last few years. Boston does such a good job. We appreciate the Boston Breach, the organization over there for putting it on, and as well as putting on a challengers event. Because
That's
we
a
found
big
out,
thing,
and we've talked about it in a previous podcast. As far as we know, there's only going to be 2 challenger events and champs at Boston and Toronto. I know there's rumors that Miami's working on one. We don't know everything on that end. So as far as we know, it's just 2 and champs. And thank Boston Breach for putting on the challengers event. I'm excited to get there tomorrow and see how it looks and just take in the passion pit.
So Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like the best way to describe it is like theatrical. It feels like you're walking into somewhere, like they're about to put on some kind of presentation, like they're putting on a show.
It's MGM. It's a music hall.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, like, literally putting it at the MGM is just, and it's already one of those, and how you're kind of talking about how it's one of those venues where it's like you feel it when you walk in. It's got that aura coming into it. That MGM already has that by itself, and then you just add Call of Duty with us. You know what I mean?
I must say, though,
loving it.
I must say, New York. Major 4 in Vanguard.
Look,
we know why he likes this one.
We know why he likes this one.
We know why you like
Major
New
4
York.
I
in
got to
Vanguard.
go up on stage and walk out with MISL. I think it would probably be my favorite major as well.
Well, not even that. Major 4 in Vanguard. It was a theater.
Yeah, almost like a Broadway
It was
type,
actual
right?
Broadway style theater.
Oh, that's so cool.
In the sound of everything, in the roar of the crowd. And Optic fans go crazy. Every event, Optic fans are loud. But the roar of the crowd in New York was insane. And for anyone that isn't able to see what's going on, Season just had to crawl under the camera, and it was actually pretty comical. He's got to go deal with some stuff.
If you wonder why all of our faces just broke into laughter right there. So one thing I wanted to bring up, we talked about the 2 Challengers events. So, with even Season, there's a lot of people putting on locals this year.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people, and a lot of people are kind of talking about it, the return of the local. This is the year for the local. What do you guys think about that? I mean, going back to that local style and actually getting to compete.
Well, I mean, somebody has to do it. The communities are just taking control of the whole challenger scene. I mean, the whole CDL logo design was like the 3 pillars. You've got the main league challengers, and I guess what was the other one?
Fans.
The fans, yeah. But the fans have taken control of that second pillar, and they've taken charge of the
challengers.
Of challengers. Yeah,
I mean, and they've had to. I mean, we've seen great promoters for throw on some amazing lands, and I've got the pleasure of casting a lot of them, and so I'm excited because even for kind of casters challengers from last year in Clutch GG. I mean, we don't have anything to cast now because Clutch GG is kind of just they've understood it. They're just not really picking anything up. And then with Shift, obviously, good for Shift being up on the CDL. I think he's got his first full major this weekend. So as well, shout out to the GO right
shout
there.
out to Shift, man. What a guy.
But it's just, I think this year for real for the locals is going to be a really, really big year, kind of bringing it back to the people. And like Jay said, I mean, it's the fans that have really been running and really just people in the community that care enough about COD and care enough about the scene. We talk so much about the rotation and Ant putting on those cups. I mean, without Ant this weekend, I mean, the cup would have literally gotten no coverage except for personal streams.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he helped a lot of players that were also having issues and, signing up, making sure everybody was signed up for the event.
Ant was on top. Ant, because, again, I don't think we talked about this much, but we did switch over the Face It.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, switching over the Face It, we did not get the anti-cheat with Face It.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's another subject.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we didn't get with Face It. I'm not gonna lie. Like some of the
It's been a little struggle.
The admin talks where I think we picked up. Obviously, we got the pleasure of getting to pick up EU Challengers finals, but going into that. We can talk about your first casting experience too.
It was actually my second casting experience.
Well, was your first time setting up the entire
I did
stream?
one on LAN.
But your first time setting up the entire casting stream, going into COD. You produced and cast is my point there.
Yeah, man.
But
I was tweaking.
Multi-talented person right here.
He's doing it all, man.
Terminator, you called me earlier.
Yeah.
Because you sleep 2 hours. Like, what is that?
Yeah, this guy slept 2 hours and he's planning on getting up to go sit in front of the venue again.
This dude's going to the bar after this.
Yeah, he's going to the bar tonight.
He's a machine.
He's a lanimal.
I got a network,
man.
except I do my work before I go network.
That's tough.
Cough, cough. Somebody that's supposed to be, I think, in the middle of that concert.
Oh no, we already put him on blast. But no, yeah, like we said,
I think the locals, for real, I think it's just going to really come back to like the people that have been in the challengers community that actually care about it. Because I mean, we've seen kind of time and time again that challengers are just going to get that short end of the stick no matter what. I mean, the league's priority right now is the CDL. And, understandable they have a whole league to run, but challengers, like you said, that 3-pillar system was supposed to be that second pillar.
Well, yeah, it's almost like we're back in the old MLG days again where the community kind of took control of the scene. Yeah, rest in peace, MLG.
It might be.
We're basically like going full circle again. I mean, the CDL is kind of on its last legs. The community is taking control of everything again and trying to kind of rebuild it, we've seen a lot of teams come and go, a lot of different orgs leave the scene, and
even Team War at some points.
Yeah, Team War left at some point. So we don't even really have too many academy teams. Even the community is just doing its best at this point to kind of take control of what's left and start it over.
I kind of go back to that Vanguard year that you talk about though, with how Challengers is working. Like that Pro-Am was one of the most fun Pro-Ams to watch.
I think the Pro-Ams are the best events we've had out of all the years aside from Champs.
Easily, because I mean, you even go back to last year during the Pro-Am, and you got Scrap up there yelling in Spanish to the Spanish players. I mean, like that's crazy. You just don't get like that kind of feel outside the Passion Pit, and I think the fans and I think even players kind of want to bring that even back to main stage because that's what used to be the best. Like even today, what's the most talked about thing other than the delays is Pred throwing up the 3-0 right in Vickles' face.
Or the length of Scrap's neck or something.
That could also be a thing that's in topic of discussion there. I mean, you might have to see him tomorrow about that.
Yeah.
I love you. So I just want to transition this over to the CDL.
Yeah.
We obviously talked about challengers. We could probably go on for hours about that, but we're trying to keep this as short as possible. I do want to thank the person behind the camera, Cam.
Oh.
He is struggling over there.
He's been awake for I believe 38 hours.
Almost 40
now,
hours.
Yeah.
But he's killed it all day and he's gonna kill it this weekend. So I do want to thank him for that. We're gonna get Season on here in a minute, but I want to get everyone's thoughts on this weekend, how it's gonna end in CDL. On the main stage, we already know how we all want it to end for challengers.
Yeah.
But who do you think is going to be in the finals, and who do you think's taking that?
Let's start with Caleb, the guests. Let's start with the guests. Putting you on the spot.
I think I gotta go with Optics. They look pretty good today.
Who they play?
They played Heretics.
No, I mean who do they? I said
who do they
in
play?
the finals?
I think it's gonna be Optic Phase.
Optic Phase.
Yeah,
And Optic winning.
I think so.
Okay, Jay.
I think if Optic beat FaZe tomorrow, I don't know why. I feel like we'll see a Optic Toronto grand final. But if FaZe beat Optic, I 100% think FaZe winning the event. It's almost like a 90%. Like they're probably gonna win this event. They look unstoppable.
I think that's the game.
So who do you? It's solid. Just one answer. Who do you think's winning? Right now, if you could pick
FaZe. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think, if you're betting money, that's where you got to put it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a safe bet.
It's definitely a safe bet. I think you're right with that Optic FaZe match. It's going to be my first Optic match on LAN, and they're playing FaZe. Yep. So it literally can't get better.
Man. It can't. Crazy.
First time being at LAN,
and it's on Saturday, so that crowd's going to be crazy.
I'm going to be crazy.
Insane.
Brother, I'm going to be crazy. I think the winner of that match wins the whole tournament. I think who
do you think is going to win that match?
I got to go with Optic. It's my first thing. I'm going to rock Optic.
You got two Optic, one FaZe.
I think
disclaimer, I'm an Optic fan, but
you're betting. You got to put it on the smart bet. I think Optic. I don't want to say over FaZe because it always feels like that's what everybody wants to pick. That Optic Toronto pick is really good, but I'm actually going to shock everybody here. I'm going Optic NYSL. I think NYSL had a terrible first day. I think we've seen it before from NYSL. We've seen it at Champs from NYSL. I think they got a tough break today. I think they got checked pretty early off of all the things that happened. I think they come back, they regain tomorrow. And I'm betting on them to have a good losers bracket run. And I'd like to see that Optic NYSL final. I think that'd be great.
So right now we got two Optic and one FaZe. And I'm honestly
Big FaZe.
I'm gonna pick FaZe.
Yes. Optics winning confirmed. Optics winning confirmed.
The reason he says that is because every time I root for Optic, I cheer for Optic, I wear any Optic apparel, they lose. But I think FaZe is gonna win just because they're right now in terms of how they look this season and just this the last few weeks, quote for quote, is unfuckable. They just you can't touch them.
Unfuckwittable.
But it is 2-2, and this is where I'm going to throw at the season.
Oh, what a way to enter the pod. We're going to
switch out Caleb. Season, you're getting on here.
You got to get loose.
He's going to round of applause for this, man.
We do. Yeah. He wasn't ready for this. He wasn't ready.
I was not ready for this.
So, season.
Morning, boys.
So, thank you again for having us. It's been for anyone. Obviously, you might see some behind the scenes stuff. with his HQ, but he has been working the last 3 days straight, I think it was, and we've been here for the last 2 hours watching him just set
just
this
work.
all up.
He has nonstop.
We appreciate it a lot, and
It looks great, by the way.
it does look
appreciate
great.
y'all.
And
Hey.
I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'll have to come up because I'm only 4.5 hours away. I'll have to come up and
You're pretty close.
yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm in New York,
There's so many more people closer to me than I was in Miami.
Yeah.
It was unreal, the Northeast.
yeah. So I'll have to come up when it's finished and see how it is, and maybe we'll do some content.
Are we the first podcast shot in the season?
This is the first content in general
come on.
shot
I
here,
love
boys.
that. Get
I
the
love
dap
that.
stuff.
This is a good way to come out with it, I guess. You know?
Yeah. And so we'll do two things. First, we'll finish off what we were just talking about.
Okay.
You are
Tiebreaker.
the tiebreaker. If you choose either phase or optic,
Shit.
what do you think it's gonna be?
Watch him. He's gonna go like.
All right, so we got 3 phase 2 optic right now, or
Yeah.
two,
No,
two,
two,
one,
two,
two, two. Wow.
So you're the tiebreaker if you choose either of those teams. If you don't, we'll have to ask
This-
Cam.
I'm feeling like Alley Cat right now. Last year in Texas, when she was forced to have to go the opposite direction to get the green wall to win.
Green wall.
So
We do
I
what we
think
have
I'm gonna
to.
go realistically with phase.
With phase.
I like
Okay.
that.
But that's too, I gotta
Try-
fall
try
right
the-
now.
Try to jinx it.
You gotta
Yeah,
fall so
it's
they
a
can
reverse
rise.
jinx right here. I'm gonna fall so optic can fly right here. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
I love that.
Every time I bet on them on Bovada, gone, nothing. Like I promise you, they lost me way more money than Legion has made me, and that's insane. Yeah, I've never made money with optic, but I think right here I'm gonna bet against them so they can win.
I
I'm
love
gonna
that.
have
I
to
like
lose
that.
right here.
Green wall.
So it's
Green
three,
wall.
So we
three
have a
two
phase.
phase. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see if those predictions come true. On the last little bit here, I do want to ask you, Season, what is your? We talked about the HQ. What is your vision with the HQ? I love hearing the idea behind it in as little words as possible because I know you could probably ramble for hours.
I could.
But what is your vision with this? What do you want it to be?
So, I mean, I guess with this, I wanted to make it like a home for the hex quarters. You know, how the hex quarters feels like home to optic is, I want this, but to amateur COD.
Love that.
So, like, you want to associate this with, like, just like that family vibe when you play COD and stuff like that. And then on top of that, I've always had a dream of having, like, a creative area where I can just devote 100% creativity. Like,
just go in and just focus on
right.
it.
It's like you're not supposed to game in your room because you can't sleep at night because that's where you're always stimulated. It's kind of like me at home right now. So like
Yeah.
I can't create where I'm sleeping too because then I always want to create when that's why I don't sleep well. So yeah.
I love that.
So,
I love that.
I
That's
have
a
a
great
place-
answer.
Typical answer, man.
Yeah.
So it's like you got the office now. You know what I mean?
This is literally
your
where
space.
the office.
Yeah, when I go home, that's where I'm chilling. I'm not gonna have a setup there or anything. Like when I'm at home, it's just
Yeah,
home.
it's
Like
just
I'm
home.
making dinner, stuff like that, sleeping. Then
Yeah.
this is where I go to work. It's
Yeah,
kinda,
this is your work. This is your baby.
right.
And I feel the same way. Like with the passion pit. Like as I said, I love hearing the backgrounds behind things and just the vision that people have because a lot of people just like yourself, like me, like everyone in this room, we are all just trying to make it in this space and just have a great time and meet new people and just go from there. But
I think that's a good segue too, because you like to know the backgrounds. Season, we talked about it a little bit here through the vault door and the jail cell. What did this place used to be?
This used to be the Everett City Police Station. So like when the real like I went into this place, I only had like 4 pictures. Like I didn't even know what this place actually looked like. So like I just knew the idea of it was like that police station, old jailhouse feel. And the realtor showed me here, and he was like, "Yeah, this is where a firing range used to be, like that long hall down there." And then this is like the holding cell, or this is the full jail cell where people, I guess, this is where like shit went down. But like the other cell is like the holding cell, and like it's insane. Like it hasn't been real like leased out or anything to anybody else before, so it's crazy.
yeah, and it's a cool setup. I'm sure you're gonna be doing a full tour when it's all set. So I can't wait to see how that looks. But we are getting kind of late here, and I know Cam is probably falling asleep standing up. So we're gonna cut it off here soon. I do want to go through everyone's shameless plugs, as we call it.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Caleb, you want to go with yours real quick? Here, give him a mic.
Come here and give your plugs, good sir.
At Caleb G DZN on Twitter.
The go. The absolute go. Y'all know it's the Madman 8 on Kick, the Madman Cast on Twitter. You know, hit me up. Always looking to cast. Mr. J.
It'll be Jay the Gamer with a 3 instead of a E on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok. And be sure to use code JTG for a 20% discount on your next Glitch Energy purchase.
Okay.
Y'all have some streamlined like socials. I have socials everywhere. It's SZN_COD on Twitter, Season999 on Twitch, Connor Miller on YouTube, Season Spit-Ons on Twitter, Season Productions Productions, you know what I mean? And then what else? We got Season Shop, www.season.shop. Hasn't launched since 2019, but we're gonna plan a relaunch soon. And yeah, that's it.
All right, and obviously mine are like yours. I have all sorts of shit, but mine's at the Real Crim 7 on Twitter, at the Real Crim 7 on Twitch, Crim 7 on Kick, all the whole 9 yards. It doesn't matter. Just shoot us a message if you are a challenger or in the challenger scene and you want to be on the Passion Pit. Make sure you go follow Team War on Twitter as well at the official Team War. Make sure you use code God damn, it's getting late. Make sure you use code WAR on Scuf checkout. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for everyone for being a part of this. Thank you, Cam, for trooping on. Keep on going.
The man behind the curtain.
Man behind the scenes. But we will catch you next time. Unfortunately, it won't be live, but
unless we get a Team War studio.
We'll keep these going weekly, and we hope you check them out on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the whole 9 yards at Team War on YouTube.
Yep.
Yes.
Team War on
Team
War official on YouTube. So go check it out. Thanks.
It's a wrap.
See you guys.
Love y'all.
It's a wrap, boys.
Oh, that was fucking fantastic.
That was amazing.
That was beautiful.